Yo, what is up, everybody? This is Neil Kongstrong. I know I've been away for a while, and I am excited to be back. And I'm going to try to get back in the habit of doing, some regular analysis videos, chart analysis, technical analysis stuff. And because I've been away for a little while, I'm going to just jump into some of the most like kind of common big player tickers, and then as I start getting into the regular swing, I'm going to be taking requests more, and getting back into the flow of that. But since it's been a little while, I feel like I'm just going to kind of start fresh, and then we can always get some new ticker requests going. So let's just start with ETH, the big boy. Well, I guess Bitcoin's probably like considered the big boy, but ETH is big in the NFT space, and that's kind of where I'm hanging out these days. So, way back, like when I was doing videos, I don't remember how long ago, I guess it was back in around like November, December, we had this uptrend line on the daily time frame, and it eventually broke, and I was watching this 38.89 level for a while. It actually took a while to break that level. Here, I'll draw a little line. Oops, there we go. So that's this green line right here. And it took a little while to finally break it. We dipped below it here and then kind of came back up. And we got this kind of like sort of descending wedge looking shape, and then eventually broke bearish. And, we had this sort of downtrend line that was less steep, and then we eventually began like a steeper downtrend line. And just in the last week or so, we broke that daily downtrend line. So now we can see that we're hitting this resistance here. We're more or less hitting this. Let me draw the line. 33.75 level. We haven't quite gotten there. You can also see this. So there's the support at 30.75, and then there's the resistance at 33.75, and that's sort of like the range of resistance that we're in right now. So we're gonna have to see how bulls react to this test of this resistance level. The break of the downtrend line is a bullish sign, and there's a thing called a volume climax, which is basically when you have a downtrend and it starts to get really extreme, and you get really, really high volume right before the reversal. And so you can see that we got this really, really high volume day on January 21st, and then we got another really, really high volume day on the 24th, and that kind of signaled the reversal more or less. And then we were able to break this trend line. So that's all. These are some bullish signs in general on the daily time frame. I do think, if we look at the weekly time frame, we have set a lower low here. So you could either look at it as this kind of like 30.75 level. You could look at that as the last low, or if you want to use the wicks, you could look at it as 26.50. And then, we went well below that down to 21.58 or so. And now, we're bouncing, but we're going to have to basically like break this, we're going to at least have to break this 33.75 level to like, feel confident that bulls can go higher. But what I'm expecting is that we're just going to set a lower high, and then we're going to keep going lower. So in the sort of like long term, I am bearish on ETH, or like, long term as in not like I'm not talking about like the next couple days, but like the next couple of weeks / months, I'm bearish on ETH. And that's partially actually because if we look at SPY, aka S&P 500, and I'm also I'm gonna be kind of including more of these stock tickers in my videos, because I really think that even if you don't really care about stocks and you're just all about crypto, the fact is more and more stocks are correlated with crypto, and vice versa. So I think that it makes sense to be watching what's happening in stocks, since oftentimes crypto is going to respond to what the stock market is doing. And we've had some really important price action in the world of stocks recently. The most important, in my opinion, is that we had, let me just draw this line. So basically, more or less, you have this uptrend line on the weekly time frame, and you can see there's some touches down here back in June 2020. We got some touches here around October 2020, got a test here around October 2021. So this line has been in play for over a year, and it finally got broken around the beginning of this year. So that's a big deal, in the stock world. And I think that we can expect this to go lower, especially with some of the stuff going on with, the consumer price index report and just, the Fed increasing interest rates and stuff like that. So when we get these really big dumps in the world of stocks, it's pretty common to get like a really big bounce because, when the sentiment is really bearish, people will start shorting. And then if we do get a bounce, that bounce gets extra fuel from all of the short sellers getting squeezed. So you can see that we broke that line, and then we got this like really big flush down, and a lot of dip buying as we kind of like, we went down to this 420 level, and this kind of lines up with some previous supports. But we got a lot of dip buying there, and then we got like this really big bounce. And now it kind of seems like the bounce is topping out. But, in Ethereum, I knew that we were probably going to get a big bounce because it seemed like Ethereum was following SPY in terms of, this big dump happening, because this dump was happening around, let's see, it looks like January 18th through like January 24th-ish. And this is, if I look at the daily, we've got January, this is January, this is that same period right here. And for Ethereum, it was sort of like a couple of smaller red days and then one like really big capitulation day. But I figured that SPY was going to bounce, and I also figured that if SPY was going to bounce, then Ethereum was probably also going to bounce. It seems like this bounce is topping out. I'm not going to totally rule out that we could actually go higher because, just historically SPY is just, and the stock market is just so bullish. So it's really hard to tell when you're going to get like a real dump and when you're not. My like based on the price action right now, I'm feeling like this feels a little bit like a top of the bounce to me, and like we're going to see, more downside. So that's kind of like where I'm at with things. And I really think that, especially right now with everything that's going on with the stock market and with the Fed, it is worth paying attention to what's going on with the stock market. And the best way to do that, I think, is the two main players are going to be, S&P 500, SPY is the ticker, and also QQQ, aka the NASDAQ 100 is another one that, it's tech stocks. SPY has a lot more like financial and has a different balance of companies, but the QQQ is like the main tech stock. So you can follow SPY and QQQ to get a better idea of, what's going on in the broader stock market, and that will play out to a certain degree in the crypto market as well. And I might as well do this ETH BTC chart because I know that my friend Super Sente is always going to ask me about that. And, frankly, it's basically pretty similar to the BTC or the Ethereum USD chart. It looks like the bounce kind of topped out sooner, and that we're getting a little bit of sideways action now. But, there's actually not really all that much to say. Like you can see that the same kinds of trend lines still play out. We have the less, the shallower downtrend and then the steeper downtrend. And then we broke the downtrend around the same time that it was broken on Ethereum USD. And then I guess, let's look at Bitcoin as well. So for Bitcoin, let me just erase some lines because I think some of these are older. But yeah, we don't have quite the same pattern. So we do have sort of the like downtrend line, and then it does technically get steeper, but it's not nearly as like drastic as Ethereum. With Ethereum, we had sort of a downtrend line that was shallower and then a much steeper one. And here we have this downtrend line, and then these tops here don't quite get to the line, but they're really close. And then of course we get the same big dump on the same day that we got on ETH. And, now we're getting a big bounce that breaks the downtrend line. So it's really not too dissimilar from Ethereum. But there's some like subtle differences, such as, there wasn't as much of a breakdown at the end of this downtrend, leading to this like sort of capitulation and eventual bounce. So anyways, I'm going to just keep it short this time. Hopefully this was helpful to some people. I really want to get back in the flow of doing this regularly. So I'm going to try to, get back in the saddle and start uploading videos more regularly. But if you want to ask for some ticker requests, you can go to the Scholars Discord. You could ask in the Cyber Kongs, like Wall Street Kongs, or you can just tweet at me at Neil Kong, NEALKONG, and I will try to cover tickers that you want or answer questions. And other than that, I hope you're having a good, February, and I'll see you soon. Bye.